Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Welcome to this week's Z2A podcast with me, Mark, and Jules from the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox.
Hello and welcome.
Now, this is where we pick a letter and a topic and discuss how you can use our tools to improve your own personal development and life. Now, we're just moving into December, which is the festive period, and that is obviously going to be the topic of this month. But what is the letter this week?
Da-da! The letter this week is S, not for snow. It's S for support. Now, the reason that we've chosen that for this week is obviously the countdown now to Christmas has started, and actually probably started in October.
It probably did, didn't it?
Judging by what you see in the shops. Generally, Christmas is associated with a time of great joy, celebration, and spending that quality time with your family and your loved ones. But we think it's also really important to remember that this time of year isn't always merry and bright for absolutely everybody. In fact, for some, it can be pretty challenging. So that's why we're saying checking in with yourselves and others is vital to ensure that we've got the support we need, especially when it comes to our mental health over this lovely festive season.
Yeah, that is really important because, as you're just saying, Christmas running probably started in October, and we make a joke of that, but it's actually quite serious. A lot of people will have bought into the fact of they need to make this Christmas so amazing, they need to go out and spend all this money on presents, on their kids, on their family, or whatever it may be. But I remember Christmas as a kid being excited a few weeks beforehand. Now it's extending to a few months. It seems to be getting more and more expensive, and maybe some people are thinking, I need to make this the perfect Christmas.
Yeah, the perfect Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you know, and I've got friends that I think they start Christmas shopping seriously back in September. Then they have it all done by the end of September, and they're all ready, and they're watching the Christmas films. And I think that's wonderful because each to their own, and everybody has their own way of celebrating it. But I like to, like you're saying, leaving it to at least December, because then you can really, I think, embrace that Christmas spirit. If you've been doing it for 3 or 4 months, by the time Christmas Day comes, it's like, I'm fed up with it now.
Yeah, it gets diluted a little bit. People, and again, no disrespect if you've done this, but putting your Christmas tree up in October, I don't know if anybody does that. Even in November, it's too soon for me.
Yeah.
I'm bored of the Christmas tree by the time Christmas comes around, so maybe a few weeks beforehand. But yeah, it is that thing. It's like planning a big day and spending so much time and then being really underwhelmed when it arrives.
Yeah, you're usually so tired, aren't you? I think sometimes by the time you've finished the build-up with work, possibly, socialising, buying the presents, decorating your house, trying to do all that, and then all of a sudden it's boom, this one big day, and by the end of it, you're tired.
Yeah. And this goes into other things, doesn't it, where people say, well, we've got a big wedding coming up. When we get married, we can do this. When we've got the wedding out of the way, we can do that. When we bought a new car, we can do that. When we bought a new house, we can do that. And I think we sometimes build ourselves up for that one moment in time, whereas we should be just going along and enjoying life. And then all of a sudden Christmas is there. It's like, yeah, let's enjoy this. And then we'll enjoy New Year, and then we'll enjoy January, and we'll enjoy February. But a lot of people hit a real low point when Christmas is over as well. So it's not just the build up to Christmas and the Christmas period, it's that January blues. And there's always that date, which I think is known as Blue Monday. It's supposed to be the most depressing day of the year and everybody feels really down.
But yeah, talking about feeling blue and that afterwards, it's about checking in, and we're saying supporting others over this period that may not be in the best mental health. But also before you do that, it's worth checking in with yourself, and just to make sure that you're okay, because if you're not feeling the festive love and you're a bit down, it's quite difficult then to support and look after other people. So whatever you do, don't overlook your own well-being when you're focusing on, like we say, these holiday preparations and meeting work deadlines. It's important to look after yourself through this period.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We've talked a lot in these podcasts about self-care, about mindfulness. But also a good way of self-care is not just about yourself, but it is about other people. Maybe reaching out to people that are in your community. It doesn't just have to be your friends and family. It might be a neighbour who's on their own.
Yeah.
It might be an elderly person who's struggling in the cold weather.
Yeah, like, bless her, your nan. She's struggling at the moment. She's awaiting a hip operation. So we're having food delivered to her currently, because otherwise she tries to walk across that ridiculously busy main road to the shop to get some supplies, doesn't she? It worries me to death.
Yeah. But that's a really good example of the people in the shop that care. I mean, just for the listeners that may not know, my nan lives right opposite a petrol station. It's got one of those Marks and Spencer's food places in it. And she'll wander across there and pay for the food or whatever she's buying. And then the people behind the counter or the security guard will take the food back over for her across the road, make sure she gets across the Pelican Crossing okay. That is a little bit like what we're talking about here, is just doing that random act of kindness for somebody. Just maybe go knocking on somebody's door and saying, hi, how are you? Is there anything I can get you? Because the paths are quite icy today, and I noticed that sometimes it might be a little bit difficult for you to get round the shop. A lovely little community. It's really nice, isn't it?
They are brilliant to her. Absolutely wonderful.
Okay, so that's all about supporting somebody with acts of kindness. But what we can't get away from around Christmas is Christmas presents, Christmas parties, Christmas films, all these sorts of things, Christmas food. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and then obviously you can ask me back as well.
I'm going to be put on the spot now.
Yeah, put you on the spot. So let's start with Christmas presents. What was your favourite Christmas present ever as a child?
The first thing that springs to mind, one Christmas morning, waking up, and we used to have the sacks at the end of our bed.
Oh,
My mum used to bring us all a cup of tea. Wonderful. And I remember this particular Christmas morning, my sack didn't have a lot of presents in it. Really didn't. There was just a few at the bottom. It wasn't full to the top like it had been in years previous. And literally, my heart sunk. I thought, oh, I've been such a naughty girl. And I'm trying to remember how old I was, but I think probably about 10 or 11. And I thought, well, I must have been so bad. And my mum was brilliant. Game Face was awesome this Christmas because she sat with me and I didn't say anything, but she could sense, I think, how I was a little bit sad. But we opened the presents and they were lovely. And then it was like, come on, let's go downstairs and have the breakfast. And my dad took me downstairs and he said, let's go into the living room, Jules. He opened the door and there, all wrapped in ribbons and beautiful, was the best Christmas bike ever.
a Christmas bike. I love that.
I'd wanted a new bike for about 6 or 7 months and it really was. I think I cried.
That's really good. I love things like that as well, because that bike is something you got for Christmas, but you would have used that so much.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
One of mine was many years ago. My mum bought me a snooker table. Now, obviously, it wasn't one of those full-size ones. It was about, I think it was about 4 foot in size, and it had really small snooker balls. And I remember Christmas and grandparents coming round and we just played snooker nearly all day. It was so cool. And that went into my playroom. I used to have a little playroom in the basement, which was the envy of all the kids in my street. So it was great because people would come round and we'd play all these snooker tournaments.
Aww.
And that just lasted for years. Honestly, it was there until I pretty much moved out of home. And we'd still play snooker and knock a few balls around on it. It's really,
a little bit
really
like
good.
last Christmas Day when our grandsons, they were given a ice hockey table, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and we had such fun all day playing ice hockey tournaments, didn't we?
Yeah, that air hockey.
Is it
thing,
air
isn't
hockey?
Yeah,
Not
that's
ice
the one.
hockey.
Ice
Air
hockey.
hockey.
Yeah, it
That's
was
it.
icy, wasn't it?
So, okay, no, I'm going now.
Oh, you're going for the next one?
I'm going to go for the next one. I'm going to ask you, what is your favourite Christmas song?
Oh, favourite Christmas song? I wasn't expecting that.
No, I was trying to think of something that I was going to throw. I'm going to throw you. You see.
I thought you were going to say film. Yeah, my favourite Christmas song is probably Last Christmas by Wham. I love that. But I'm also going to say the Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas Time? But the very first original one, I love that. And just to be greedy, I'm also going to pick Fairy Tale of New York.
You were only supposed to pick one.
Okay, so out of them three, I'm going to go for Do They Know It's Christmas. So what's yours?
Yes, I agree with you on those songs. Absolutely brilliant and wonderful ones. Wizard. What was that song? Wizard.
I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day.
I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. I remember that as a kid. That was brilliant. But my favourite all time is Stop the Cavalry by Jonah Louis.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, it just gives me such a warm, fluffy memory of listening to that in the local pub with my dad. And there used to be a chap, and there was an old piano in there, and he used to play that along to it, and we'd sing.
Wow.
What a memory, what a lovely song. It brings back, Christmas warmth. Beautiful. That's the one.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that one as well. I've forgotten about that one. And of course, we'll be hearing these all the time now. My least favourite one, I'm going to pick that one, is that Mariah Carey one.
Oh, no, yeah.
No,
let's not do that one.
Yeah, let's move on very quick from that one.
Strangely enough, it's our granddaughter's favourite one. Yeah. She plays it all the time.
I know. What a shame.
I'll tell you what I love here in Lanzarote, when we go shopping into the shopping malls, the car parks are underneath the shopping centres. And as soon as you start driving in there, you can hear the Christmas music. Yeah. It's so loud. It's great, people are dancing, getting out of their cars and singing.
That's fabulous. Right, next one for you. Favourite Christmas film?
Oh, Christmas film. My all-time favourite one has to be Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Oh, good shout.
Loved that film, and me and my boys, we watched that over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I love that one. But the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, Muppets Christmas Carol, yeah.
I love the Muppets.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling I know what you're going to say is your best.
You know it's Bad Santa,
yeah.
don't you? Actually, to be fair, Bad Santa, but I'd also say the original, the very first Home Alone. Mm-hmm. I used to love that, and again watched it over and over and over again, just realising how much stuff could happen if you leave your kid on their own at home. How much fun they can get into. No, actually, just before we say that, do not leave your kids at home.
We are not advocating that that's what you do. Absolutely not.
But yeah, it was a great film. It used to really, really make me laugh. And in fact, I think we need to watch those films in the lead up to Christmas as well.
Yes. Yeah. And over Christmas, you feel it, like I say, all that nice fluffy warmth of Christmas when you watch the films.
Yeah.
So when you're watching these films, I'm going to ask you now, there is the big hype over the Christmas dinner and all the different trimmings that you have, but also all the other things that you bake and make around Christmas. So what is your favourite food that you have at Christmas that you would not normally have through the rest of the year?
Well, I was going to say a box of chocolates, but I have one of them every day. No, I don't really.
Excuse me.
Not a box, a slice of chocolate.
A bar.
A bar of chocolate.
Or two.
Just to let you all know, my chocolate addiction isn't as bad as it sounds sometimes. I do have days off. Got to be mince pies, hasn't it? Because you don't have them all year round. I love homemade mince pies. My nan makes the best ever. That little bit of icing sugar sprinkled on the top. And of course, the Christmas cake with a bit of marzipan in.
Yeah.
I love marzipan. I remember when my other nan, years ago, used to make the Christmas cake. She'd always buy an extra marzipan so we could eat that and make little sweets out of them as well. And I guess that's something that I probably wouldn't eat all year round. So what about yours?
Do you know, I think... Yes, absolutely, 100% with the mince pies, sausage rolls, all that sort of party food. I quite like that. But do you know what? I absolutely love the Christmas dinner, the whole Christmas dinner with the roast potatoes, the Yorkshire pudding, pigs in blankets, beautiful gravy, all the sauces, the cranberry sauce. Yeah. I don't know, bread sauce or cauliflower cheese with the lashings of cheesy sauce. I absolutely love the dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you something else that I used to like.
What's that?
I haven't done them for a while. We might get them this year. Brandy snaps.
Brandy snaps. Oh, good shout.
Wow,
yeah.
I used to love making them and snaffling a few before they went on the plate and got put out.
Actually, my other nan that I was talking about, the marzipan nan. I never called her the marzipan nan, but that's a good name for her because our listeners know who we mean. She used to always buy some dates and they had Eat Me on the front in a little packet. And for some reason, she never used to eat them.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea why.
It's funny, but there's certain things that you think, I must do that. Because there was always a bowl of nuts, wasn't there? And a nutcracker.
A nutcracker, yeah.
And then, the end of January, they're still there and you're looking at them and thinking, well, I suppose we ought to eat them.
Yeah, we should eat them.
And then you can't crack them, can you? So you end up chucking them away.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I actually do remember eating quite a few of them. I used to crack them and they'd be really messy.
Or roasting chestnuts on the fire. We used to do that as kids because we had an open fire.
Yeah.
That was lovely and that was a nice smell. So there you are. Now you know what kind of Christmas we're going to have and our favourite memories. We sincerely hope you've all got some wonderful memories of past Christmases. The theme of today's is about looking after yourself and others and supporting where needed, and even if it's you that needs the support to help you through this festive period.
So you can give yourself the best gift by going to our website and getting some free resources from futuretoolbox.co.uk. There are also plenty of them on our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. You can also find us on YouTube and LinkedIn as well, because we are
everywhere.
We are everywhere. But yes, enjoy the build up to the festive period. We look forward to catching you next week. Don't forget to check in on yourself, text a friend and check in on them as well. See how everybody is and enjoy yourself. Have a great week and see you soon.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.